Oh, look at her. Oh, oops. You see that floating cushion right there? That's my bad. Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to a brand new stream. I am here. I am back. And my only idea for today's stream is to continue expanding the house that we've been building so far. I will admit I'm running a little bit dry on ideas now. So we've done the kitchen, the greenhouse, the pantry, which was last stream, a reading nook, and a little dark, dusty storage cupboard right by the front door. Those are all of our successes so far, but as for what to do next, we're kind of left with one passageway, like one way through the house. So we're going to have to expand in a specific direction. The question is just how we want to achieve that. So I think the best thing we can do is jump into the game and just see if any ideas come to us. I have one thing in mind, but it's not terribly profound. So let's head inside. Hopefully we have enough dye to keep us going too. I hadn't really thought about that. Okay. So all of this is done. So somehow we've kind of done everything on the left side of the build. So from here to the left is complete. Now we are expanding this way. And I'm just running on empty in terms of how the rest of the build is going to look. The one idea I have is to, first of all, make this archway, this whole space, slimmer, more narrow, because this feels a little bit too open for my liking. So I'm thinking of maybe making potentially like rounded pieces to soften the edges, or maybe even create a gable roof here so that the roof is at an angle. But we have kind of done that up here with the skylight. So I'm thinking maybe for a change we'll try rounding out some corners. But before we do anything, I'm going to quickly jump into the floor plan edit mode, because maybe we just have the wrong type of room on this end. I don't think we're ready to go upstairs yet. So instead, I was wondering about maybe doing a T-shaped room and having it like this. But again, it does kind of leave, this is an awkward shape in my opinion. We could make another fake indoor-outdoor space by cutting off one of these sections. Hey, hello, hello. Long time no see. How are you doing? I don't know. The T-shaped room is what I was picturing in my head. But I don't know. We could do an L-shaped room, actually. Oh, don't worry, Jess. It's no problem at all. It's lovely to see you. This maybe looks a bit more usable, but the only point to add a new room is at the top. And I was kind of hoping to use that for something else. Oh, brother. I don't care for the long hallway. I don't think we're going to use an octagonal room right now. Maybe we do just use a square room. Where were the points of access for this room? Either end. Okay. How does this look? Maybe it's better. Ooh, maybe we could make a bay window in this section, like a giant one. Or, I mean, it doesn't even need to be giant. We could section part of it off. We would need to do... Do you want to use a stone wall? Maybe. This is kind of what I'm picturing. Perhaps we do... Where's the grid? Why can't I see the grid? There's a keybind for the grid and I've forgotten it. Housing. Toggle grid visibility X. There we go. This should help us a little bit more. Is it because... Yeah, I have a different keybind that uses X, so I think I accidentally toggle the grid on and off every time I use that. It would have to be something like this. And the same on the other side. Is that even? No, it's not even, is it? Have you cut your hair? I got my hair done on my birthday back in November. So it's shorter than it ever was, but it looks like this today because I straightened it yesterday. My stream on Monday, I should backtrack even further. I wash my hair on Sundays once a week. And then I had been meaning to do something with it after it was washed. I usually put it up in a clip with treatment in it and let it just soak in for a bit. But so much time went by and I just kind of forgot about it that my hair had basically completely dried in the clip. And I don't mind when that happens, but it does make my hair frizzier and just it kind of does its own thing more than I would like. So I appeared on stream on Monday and I just, for me personally, because I look at myself in the camera, I think, oh, I didn't love how that looked because naturally my hair is a little bit more frizzy. But I just told myself the next day, because I had less going on, that I would straighten it because I didn't know what else to do with it. So that's why it looks like this. Yeah, it is pretty short. I mean, I feel like my hair probably grows quite quickly, but it used to come like all the way down to here. I had quite a lot taken off. I just really fancied a change, and my hair can be so much work when it's long that I just thought, I wonder if I were to cut it, if it would be any easier. And it kind of is, but now I also, sod's law, I kind of miss the long hair, the long hair. But straightening it kind of gives me the same vibe I need. Okay. If we did a bay window in this corner, this then kind of becomes, it could be a dining area, it could be a living space, it could be both. Then that means the house progresses this way, because that's the only other place that we can put an extra room if we look at it like this. So when we get to the point of adding an extra room, we're going to have to go here. And I think at some point I'm going to have to bite the bullet and do stairs. whether we do the default stairs, like that room is so large, or we build our own kind of fake room with stairs, fake stairs. We'll see. This does not give cottage at all, but I think what we would have to do is use walls and columns to break this room up as much as possible so that it doesn't look like it's one enormous room, you know? But I'm going to delete that because I don't want to think about that today. We're going to focus on this T-shaped room and see if we can make something out of this. How would you make a bay window? Probably going to be using the good old Elwyn windows, whatever these are called. Goldshire windows. Turned around. Would we feel like putting them horizontally rather than vertically, potentially, for a change? Jess, how is your new job, if you have started? I hope it's going well. Maybe the horizontal windows could work here. I'm envisioning kind of 1 or 2 windows on an angle on the sides, and then curving out at the back. Maybe we haven't left enough room to make this a fake outdoor space, but we'll see. We want this one. Ooh, okay. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it. I hope it fits. We can always add, we're going to probably have to add columns and things to cover up seams and such. It's a lot better than the old place, and the second day in, I was already on site at solar installation. Our old place would never be like that. That's old place, yeah. That's crazy. That's really interesting. How was that as an experience? They were starting to talk about maybe doing that where we worked, but it never came of anything, at least not for me. I think a couple people might have gone for something at some point, but you just kind of had to get luck of the draw, I think. Okay. What I should maybe do before we make this room blocked off, I should fill in this fake sky, shouldn't I? We want to use a different color this time. I feel like I might. Although, let's get it in situ first. Then how does it look in different shades of blue? Vortex teal is quite nice. Or maybe we do Zephyrus blue. Low-key boring. Yeah, to be fair, I guess if you're not the technician, like the engineer or engineers on site, it's probably not much to do or look at. What did you like? Were you there to just learn about how they work, or is that like part of your job, is like being on site with people? Oh God, I'm getting this error again. I don't know why this happens. And yeah, you can make houses in World of Warcraft now. It's very new, and we're still technically in the early access of it, so not necessarily everyone has it, but it's part of the new expansion that's coming out very, very soon. And given my wealth of experience in The Sims growing up, it was just like my calling. Keeps me very much occupied in WoW nowadays when it's like we're in a little bit of a content drought. Okay, sky. Are we going to maybe even put some trees out here, or what would we put? Large foliage, maybe a chestnut tree. Have to be kind of small because otherwise they don't even fit. They wanted me to understand how it works before I do the office work. That's really logical, in my opinion. That makes total sense. I think that's good that they've done that. Although, like you say, maybe a little bit boring. Don't want to put too much out here, I don't think. And we don't want it to clip into the house. Maybe something like that. Maybe I should cave in and put rugs on the other walls too, just in case you can see them from inside. How big can we go? I'd love to cover it in one fell swoop if possible. More or less. I think the priority is having it up high. Our skies have like right angles to them, right? Boring. I'm glad you found hopefully a workplace that's better than the previous one. But from what I understood, it's not hard to beat that place. These axes stay being difficult to work with. Lovely. kind of get the gist that that's what this is. I don't think there's much else we really want to put out here. I think if we put shrubs, you won't even see them. But I have just had a thought. Could we maybe like make a fake looking window box for the outside? Which way does the ivy cascade? That way. Maybe you won't even see it from inside. No, I'm not loving that. Maybe this one works better. This looks better. I don't think I'm going to go as far as to actually make a window box because I'm starting to try and reserve my budget as a little bit if I can. Oh, actually, maybe it doesn't work. Ah, thank you, Jess. Sleep well. I always forget just how late it must be for you by now. That's crazy. Thank you for stopping by. It was lovely to chat to you. What does it look like if we just say screw it and put some kind of fake window box there? Maybe we use a beam? I'm hoping just one might work to just do something. I don't love it. Maybe we will do something with the windows once the rest of it... Ah, I just deleted a tree. Once the rest of the room comes together, we might not feel like it needs quite so much once we've actually furnished the rest, you know? Apologies if you hear any drilling in the background. Neighbours just decided to start doing renos. Okay, I was trying to delete this hostabush, like so. Okay. Do we want one story of windows or two? How would this look? Maybe it looks okay. I was wondering if it might look too much. I'm not sure what playlist is playing right now, actually. Oh, my release radar. There's some Spanish guitar going on. I'm going to try it with two stories of windows, or two tiers. We'll see if we need to. We can cover up the seams in just a moment. I don't want it to look too grand is the only thing I'm considering. The lighting makes the middle windows look a different color, but I wonder actually, if we keep the middle window the default color and then change the color of the others, can we like fake that they're the same color? I mean, Heartwood's not too far out. Don't think I'm going to dye anything just yet until we're like set. Okay. So then we need to cover the top and the bottom. Maybe we do we do a rock, like a cobbled wall at the top for a change? How does this look at the bottom? It has wood on it. And you can't see the rock when it's elevated, so let's turn it back around. Maybe we just use like a beam for this part. So we're going to have to cover the back slightly too, aren't we? We can just duplicate probably. I'm going to seal the top like this. I'm kind of curious if we size it all the way up, if it will fit in one, but I don't think it will. Not without poking through here. Oh, actually, it almost does. How is that? And then what would we use here? Maybe these corner pieces would be useful for the seat. I'm envisioning something like this. I'm not mad at hiding the bolts on the bottom, but it's then becoming quite high. Maybe the whole thing needs to be brought down slightly. Looks a little bit better. Get the second corner piece. There is a little gap there. And then a middle piece. Now, I'm going to have to cover this up because the planks of wood are going in different directions because of how I've had to orient things. But I planned on putting like cushions, and if we can find something that acts almost as a blanket or something, that would be good. I was hoping to maybe bring the seat forward slightly. I mean, we still can. It just is going to take a fair bit of maneuvering because now all the windows are going to have to come further in, so that there's not a big gap. There's a tree clipping in that window, I just noticed. Like that. And then we just cover the bottom, which I was thinking we probably take this wall upside down. I mean, it could even just go the correct way up, but I was wondering if we can continue that nice wood effect across the whole thing. Oh, it's going to have to be bigger, isn't it? We're going to have to marry two together, I fear. Okay. Let's just take a regular, the wall the regular way up, sink it down, size it up honestly too, until it connects with both walls, something like that. Although then I'm not allowed to sink it into the ground. Okay. Maybe we just use the beam. Oh no. The game doesn't like you putting things too low into the ground or like too large into the ground. but I'm allowed to do this, I think. I was kind of considering making a little like mini stairwell up to it anyway, but actually I don't think it super needs it. You wouldn't have one, would you, for a regular bay window seat thing? I'm gonna need quite a few of these platforms, so we might need to go and speak to a vendor soon. I'm looking for the Stormwind Beam platform because there's just a lot of seams here that I think could do with being covered up. Like I'm considering covering every corner up like this. It's going to take forever, but I think it would be worthwhile to do. If you see the vision. Yeah, that's gonna look good. Although again, the color because of the lighting. But still, I think it looks better than the windows all clashing and the bolts sticking out and everything. Also, to be fair, maybe it's because I've rotated a different side. There we go. Easy fix. Oh no. Maybe 35 is the sweet spot. Something like that. There's a little gap in the top. I can't do a huge amount about that unless I literally take an extra beam. I think this beam's going to have to be quite big though. And lay it across the top. Actually, maybe that's fine. Yeah, maybe that makes sense actually. So many beams in this build, my goodness. Let's maybe do the vertical ones first. We're doing size 35, aren't we? And if we align the first one each time to the ceiling, then we know exactly how much space we need for the others, the ones that go below. They're all on a slight off angle as well, which is frustrating. more or less like so. It's detailed work. This is very detailed work. It's hard to see the angle. It's more or less like this, isn't it? Oh, we have 2 left, so we can make one more little fake pillar. And then we have to go and buy some more. Let's make sure the right side of the wood is facing our way. I think it's this side. I hope they do something about the way lighting affects certain objects further into midnight. Ooh, also this is slightly further along on one side than the other. Maybe we need to do this. Oh, it's not as far forward, that's why. That makes more sense. There's a little bit of clipping there, but it's barely noticeable. We're getting faster at this now that we know what we're doing. Okay. We have about 3 different wood colors going on right now, but we can fix that in a bit. I'm wondering if that warm teak. Nope. Ideally, we want to change the color of the one that's standing out, but you can't get quite the right color on it in the lighting that it's in. I mean, warm teak's not bad, but it also looks basically the same. Yeah, it like doesn't change at all. Maybe warm teak needs to go on the... I think Heartwood's probably going to be the winner again, actually. Okay. So we need more of these Stormwind beam platforms. Would we benefit from anything else? Any walls? I think we're good for walls right now. Pillars. I don't use too many pillars because they can't be sized up. Bay window. Yes, indeed. Hello, Selkath. I was struggling for ideas for today, so I just had a vision and I'm running with it. How are you doing? Maybe more Stormwind large platforms. Just making a little list so I don't forget what we need. I haven't used these Silvermoon platforms yet. Maybe in a fake bathroom situation we can use that, but I think for now I'm going to keep it to hardwood. Oh, there's a big gap there. How did I not notice that? Also, I can't target that wall. What's that called? I used plain interior wall. Hopefully I can move it. Plain. This one. It's fractionally too small, but I think if I make it any bigger, it's gonna tell me I'm not allowed. This decor can't be scaled. Oh, I did scale it. It's a bug. That's why. Oh, please. Because then, yeah, if you sink it too far down when it's big, it doesn't let you. Maybe like this. Okay, there's a tiny gap at the bottom. I think I'd rather a gap at the bottom than a gap at the top. That will have to do, I think. We can fix the underneath at another time. I see people sink a chair into the bay bit so it's sittable. That is a really good idea. I might try to do that. Other than putting like cushions and blankets on there, I don't know what else we're gonna put. Chair, let's see. Can you actually sit on a cushion? I think you can. No, you can't. It needs to be an actual chair. But if you were to put a cushion there, no, actually, let's just do. Can you sit on this stool? I want something that's like barely noticeable. There we go. You can sit on this stool. Now, every race has a different sitting animation, so for some it might look weird and for others it might look better. She sits quite far on the edge, so I think the stool itself would have to be quite close to the edge. And goodness knows if we're able to click on this, but... Oh. Look. Very adorable. She doesn't look terribly comfortable, but that is more or less the vibe. It's a really nice idea. I'm gonna take it out just for now. Oh gosh, what was it called? Something Valdrakken stool, maybe? Valdrakken stone stool. We will figure out actual seating arrangements once we've got like everything in place. Structural. Just thinking about any bits that we want to buy from vendors. I'm usually lacking on plants. How are we doing there? We've got flowers, we've got ivy. It's probably fine. Lighting. My lighting comes from all sorts of places. The bottle lights will be nice. Okay. Let's go to the vendor in the neighborhood and get us some more beams and what was the other thing? The large platforms. You can sink a chair into the grass outside till it's just the back of it that sticks out. If anyone sits on it, it crashes their game. That is villainous. I love it. My game is struggling today. What's going on?
May I be of service?
Okay. Mm, not you.
Thank you for browsing.
Here we go. Let's get beam platforms. Gosh, we've used 53 of these. Probably not in just this build, probably in my other house as well, to be fair. This character's like on her way to not having any gold, but I'm just gonna get quite a few. Let's get 40. And then I think, yeah, this guy also sells... Oh gosh, you're really not gonna be able to afford very many of these. Can we get 30? Just about. Need to send some gold to this character.
May the mists protect you. Something new to trade? Every sale.
Nothing here.
Story.
Not pressing anyway. Okay. I've slowly but surely started to more or less remember the way back to my house from the center of the neighborhood. I still have the idea to make this hallway a bit less broad. It feels way too wide right now, so I'm thinking maybe later on in the stream or in another stream of just cutting even just the top corners to make it more of a feature and a bit cozier, because this looks cozy and homely, and then it feels like you turn this way and it's like cold. And I think hopefully shrinking down the space will help us achieve the look we're going for. Structural, we're grabbing more of these platforms. The lucky number is 35. And then we tip them up, tip them around. We've got this corner, and then we'll see if we do the horizontal way as well, because that is going to be a lot. And the main purpose of doing it on the vertical axes were to cover up the bolts on the windows, because I think they don't look very nice. We've got a weird lighting glitch going on over here. Just going to ignore that. How does this one look? Oh, actually, I didn't even use them on this side because they didn't clip. Interesting. Why didn't it clip on? Why does it clip on this side? Should I be really cheeky and just like low-key make the walls a different width? I don't think you'd tell, would you? Botanical, thank you very much for the follow. Nice to see you. How are you doing? I think having... Oh no, there are pillars there. I didn't notice them. They blended in so nicely. But that does look better, actually, even though... Also, where's my music gone? I was on my Discover Weekly, my release radar, and then it just stopped. Oh, it's because there's only 30 songs on there. I'm good. How are you? How's this looking so cute? Thank you. I'm doing okay, thank you. It's work in progress for the house, for sure. But we only started last week, so it's come a good way since then. Have you been enjoying housing? I think I've seen some of your content on TikTok. I think we follow each other. This is the side we're looking for. Almost there. I just... that never happens to me, where the item just zooms off the screen. I could have found it and brought it back, but I genuinely think this is faster for me. I get into the rhythm of it, you know? That's my fault for using that arrows so close up. I do like keybinds for housing, but for the really detailed work, it does get quite tricky because they're more sensitive, the keybinds, I find. Did we do it? I think we'll be here all day if we look at every angle and we'll notice that one pillar isn't aligned with another one and whatnot. So I think in terms of progressing, that's a pretty good bay window. We can tell now and we'll always see it that way, slightly moved. Yeah, fair. I will probably thinking of adding potentially pillars on both sides anyway to balance out a little bit, but I appreciate you guys sticking with me even though I've definitely made these walls two different measurements, even though minuscule. Housing's been amazing. Saw you were streaming and was like, oh, I want to pop in for a bit before work. It's lovely to have you. Thank you for stopping by. My favorite is when it slides away and it's gone in the wall, never to be seen again. Yes, there is an add-on to rescue you from that. I believe it's called Plumber. And once you have it installed, if you go into your advanced mode in decorating mode, you should have this icon in the top corner. And then this gives you a list of every decor item you've placed in your build so far. And then once you click on one, it should highlight what it is, and then you can find it and like delete it or move it or whatever it is that you need to do. But I think that's only if you have the Plumber add-on. Yes, exactly, Ricasso. Okay. I'm pretty happy with how this looks, so now I think I might commit to potentially dyeing. dyeing the color, not dyeing. Damn. Although, oh, this really bugs me. Maybe copper is actually the closest. Basically, because the light emits from the back of the windows, the lighting engine has kind of changed the color of the two middle windows, despite the fact that none of them have actually physically been dyed. Copper is pretty close, but then the beams in between them are super light. Maybe we just wait it out. Maybe they just fix it. I can't stop looking at that empty space underneath here. Even if we just do something like this. What's the perfect number here? 105. It's like between 105 and 110. I think that's better. Oh. Does it clip on this side? Yeah, it does. It needs to be smaller. 106. Not clipping and Barely clipping. I'll take it. I painted all the windows white, including the bolts, then set them into a white wall till the blueness of the white is gone, but the glow is still there. It makes everything blindingly bright. Yeah, I'm wondering if they're going to do something about that. Obviously, all of my kind of criticism or any critical feedback that I have about housing is obviously with the knowledge that this is early access, so I'm not necessarily expecting it to be perfect, but it's definitely something that's good to feedback or flag in some way. Because I mean, I guess it's also because we're not breaking housing, but we're making fake outdoor spaces in an indoor room, so they've not, you know, they've not programmed the interior rooms with that in mind. And in Midnight, we're going to have access to actual exterior rooms to place on the interior of your house, so we won't have to make fake outdoor spaces. When that comes, goodness knows what we're going to do, because we've now got 2 fake outdoor spaces in this house and we've barely started. But for now, I like having the option of it looking like we're looking from the inside out rather than just having light shining into the room by having the windows facing the normal way. Okay. That is more or less the bay window. We just need to like decorate it. I mean, I think we should have stuff to do that. Maybe just gonna close this gap up here. Or does that look bad? Maybe we leave it open and like put something up there. I don't mind the look of the exposed stone. What would we put here? Maybe, I mean, curtains make sense. Wall hanging. To be fair, I think I might be running a little bit low on curtains. I'm wondering when we can use these elegant ones, but they are very bougie. And would we want these across the top of this or along the window line? Maybe this makes it look like a stage. Maybe that looks a bit strange. But I wonder if we put curtains across the windows, if it maybe covers them up, and that kind of defeats the object. Also, to be fair, my issue with the elegant tied curtain is there isn't 2 sides. There's not a left and a right. So if you want to use the same curtain and make them symmetrical, you have to turn one of them around and they're not the same on both sides. It's really frustrating. I noticed that in a recent stream and it bugged me to no end. Do you see the differences? The main one is that on the front of the curtain, there's that nice pleated folded side that droops down, and on the other side it doesn't have that. And technically, if you look at it from the side, they bump out in opposite directions. Can we live with that? I said that in the last stream, didn't I, where I found that this was the issue. Oh, it looks... it looks bad, in my opinion. I don't know. Only option is upside down curtain on the other side. To be honest, the elven curtains don't massively fit the vibe of this house so far because we've been using more of these like folky inspired curtains. And I mean, maybe this is just what we keep using. We could even try and like sink it down and have it hanging in the middle somehow. Or does that look bad? No, I guess it makes sense to go either on the beam or up against the windows, but not like in between. It's not centered. Therewith. Yeah, it's okay. We won't leave it blue. And then I'd like to cover up the way that the wood is not aligned because we've had to shift everything around. Is the doormat too like basic? What does this look like turned upside down? It looks bad. Okay. Floor. Ooh, these are cute. Small leather rug. We could start weaving some red into the space. We've done kind of a maroony brown burgundy red over here. I feel like blue isn't quite the vibe, but to be fair, there is like blue tinges in the windows, so maybe we do want to try and complement it if we can. This is kind of cute. This is a Tauren rug. I was thinking more along the lines of kind of multiple rugs stacked on each other, because this looks a little bit too ceremonious. It looks purposeful. I kind of want it to be a little bit messy. But then I think multiples of the same rug is going to look maybe a bit strange. Let's see. I mean, we can use one of these circular rugs, right? Maybe like there. Let's not worry about color right now. Maybe this one. Is it customizable? Oh, it's not. That's tough. Most of the rugs aren't, are they? This one's not either. Gilnean rug. Actually, if we go blue, then this does work, even though it's not customizable. Also, we don't want only round rugs, right? We want a combination. But maybe overlapping 2 round rugs. And then having a rectangular one. This one is customizable. How customizable? It keeps the gold. The gold is quite garish, isn't it? Ooh, I do like that Ungoro green color. That's beautiful. How does this look? Shrunk down. Alliance blue is overdone by the Alliance. Yeah, it does just make me think of the Alliance, and I don't really want like a faction-tied aesthetic to this build in particular. Just want it to feel like a home. I was thinking something like this. That doesn't look too bad. We don't want to go ham. And then I was going to just put some cushions. We've got this type of cushion, which is customizable, I think. Yeah. This one is also customizable. That's quite sweet, little patchwork. The rest are not. I think some of them might be called pillows. Stitch pillow. Oh, I don't like that. Although, let me give it a second chance because it is customizable. I reckon this could maybe be... Really? You can only customize that small patch in the middle? Maybe it's just because it's too big, it looks weird. Because to be fair, if you only can customize that patch in the center and it's going to be blue, it does still kind of work. It just looks a little bit strange. This is technically a kind of orc themed cushion. I thought I had more of those elven pillow roll things. What do they call those? Oh, I used them all as carrots in my in my pantry, of course. Silly me. Guess we could just use another one of these. Have one square pillow and two round. I'm assuming for this one you customize the blue part. Yeah. We don't want the two round rugs to go together. The two round cushions, sorry. I was maybe going to put the square pillow on the two circle rugs. And then one of these pillows either side. Maybe a different size. Oh, also with the square pillow, we could lean one up against the window itself. But like with a round pillow, maybe that looks a bit more strange. We don't have terribly more options, do we? Cushion. Orange is way too much. Again, we've got the patchwork orcish type cushion. That brown on the sides is so nasty though. I don't care for that at all. Let's try leaning this cushion up. That's cute, isn't it? Maybe this one's okay. No. Ooh. There's a table with cloth draped over it, isn't there? This one? I wonder if we can get away with using this. Oh, we've tried this before, haven't we? And you can't because you'll see the metal and everything. There's this one. There are quite a few, but I think they all have the same issue. I don't care for that one very much. Oh, it's so frustrating. I don't think we can tilt it either. Nope. Can you do it with any of them? Not really. I mean, we can use tables, some of them, as extra rugs. Just don't think they look very good. I think the banners have physics on them, so they will like flap gently. Yeah, they do. What else looks like a rug? This is looking very Alliance. I don't love it. What's the color scheme in this room? I can't decide. We've kind of gone green and deep reds and cool tone purple over there. Do we continue that vibe or goes a different way? That color's nice, the Gilnean Rose. I have a feeling it's a bit garish on the other items though. I really like this rain poppy color actually. Or do we go kind of neutral and do like bone white? Something kind of off-white or brown. Kodohide brown. Kodohide, no. Definitely not orange. Sand is pretty, although I don't have any of those to actually use. Maybe I take the plunge and go for this rain poppy red. Does mean that these rugs aren't going to work though. Most of them. Maybe an Arkwine rug there. What's going to complement this rain poppy red? Probably like an orange. But I think this one should be Arkwine. The rain poppy is really cute. Ooh, the Mage Royal red. That's nice. Maybe this cushion should be Mage Royal red. And this... maybe something a bit more neutral. Do we use a wood tone? Even though it's fabric? Could use Holy Oak tan. No. What does this need? Annoyingly, almost all the colors that look good under it, we don't have available right now. Maybe Kobohide brown? Kodo hide brown. Surely not like a green. Actually, maybe I like Forsaken Plum. We could maybe even make the little button woven into this cushion the same, but that's pretty. So then it's just that Gilnean rug that stands out in the very middle. That's gonna have to go, isn't it? All the colors. Let's try this again. Can you filter by dyeable only? Oh, you can dye this. Why did it tell me I couldn't dye it? Okay, so that's broken. Because it's listed as customizable. And to be fair, I think it's meant to be because we have a rug like this in the same style, just a different shape in this room. And this one was dyeable, so I think that's just a mistake. We have a second Stormwind Hall rug, but I think that's going to look... I think I'd rather have 2 round rugs than... 2 rectangular ones. Wonder how these look now that we've got a color scheme in mind. If we were to make this one, I don't know. Oof, there's a lot of colors going on over here. The Gilnean Rose again. I think that's what this is. No, I don't think I care for how that looks. Ooh, I hadn't seen this. This is like fur. And it does low-key act as a stool. Like you can sit on it, I think, but... Again, the lighting, a little bit strange. I didn't see if it's dyeable, actually. Supposedly it is. You can dye it. So maybe by dyeing the fur, hopefully... Oh. Why is nothing changing? Damn, housing is broken today. That's okay. Maybe we can do something with this. It's just very, very bright when it's put in the bay window because of all the windows. Even if it's like over here. It's a little bit better in the corner. But it also just looks a bit strange in a corner, doesn't it? We'll come back to that. Let me put that there in case we want to use it. Because I think that might be basically all of our options exhausted. Ooh. Oh, it's so close to being amazing. Maybe this will work. Clipping right now. It's also clipping into the window and like Loki going outside. You can see it from inside. Oh no. This actually was going to look really cute because you can dye the fabric on the top. And it's got the little fur accents. Damn, I thought I was onto something there. Okay, well, let's just put this stool in here for now. I'm not enamored with it, but I've kind of exhausted my options otherwise. And it's at least something. Maybe overlapping with the other circular one. Does this look really bad? Oh, she actually looks cute. Her legs are clipping through the floor because that's how she sits, but I mean, she's facing the right way. Kind of sweet. At least it's functional. Yeah, I don't think... Although, what am I saying? Now that we've changed the colors, we can use the other cushions that we like. Am I going crazy? Where was that nice one that I pulled out earlier that was the wrong color? Have I put them in the build somewhere and not realized? Eesh. Because we had the like orange cushion and everything, right? And I said, oh, that won't do. For a moment, I thought she was hugging her legs to her chest the way she was sat. Having a little menti bee in the bay window. What have I done? Do you guys remember where I put cushions? Checkered cushion. Not that one. Can't find it anywhere. Oh, wait. Dyeable only. That's why. My bad. Cushion. There we go. Because this one, look how beautifully that fits the color scheme now. This is another one that can go up against a window. Silly me. Maybe we put one up sort of like this. The only thing is, I'm really good at picking out tasseled cushions to lean up against things, and then they clip really easily. It's the only thing. That tassel is defying gravity. Do you think if we flip it, it looks better? Yeah, it does. Some of them are just going to have to clip because otherwise it's floating. Oh yeah, this is the furniture piece that says it's dyeable but nothing happens. Okay. maybe I'm wondering about using this as a rug, like a big cushion, because now that I'm looking at it again, I feel like this circular rug is not giving. I'm gonna get rid of it for a second. Realistically, this is gonna have to come further up. So is this one probably. That's better, isn't it? I think somewhat. The actual cushion that's now been relegated to being a rug looks a little bit weird. I think we just need to raise it even further. Can't tell if I like this. Maybe I'm just doing too much. I think these two need to go together after all. Aww. Look at her. Oh, oops. You see that floating cushion right there? That's my bad. I'm not sure what she's looking at. Maybe we just put like, I don't know, a book or two over here, a little potted plant, some simple little decor pieces. And I think the bay window will more or less be done. Gotta figure out something to put up here. These beams don't quite fit. Unless we make like a little beam pattern of some kind. Not mad at that. If it inexplicably floats, it's Dalaran made. That's a great justification, actually. Okay, I think I'm going to take a quick break, so it's like a natural pause for now. Means I get to go away and come back and look at this with fresh eyes and potentially make further adjustments, because I've looked at it for so long I'm going like blind to it, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to take a quick break, and then when we get back we're going to continue on with whatever this room is going to hold. I won't be long. Alrighty. We are back. I have a fresh pair of eyes, and honestly, like, looking at it immediately, I think it looks okay. Like, I think we're safe to slowly progress forward rather than like dig into every minute detail. I think also as we expand this room, we'll naturally find more colors of things, and then that might influence changing some colors that we see over here because it's pretty similar color palette over here right now. But I think as it is, this is okay. I think the only other thing I'm going to do here for now, I was wondering what it would look like to just have some beams, kind of a little custom exposed beam moment going on over here. It'll probably be quite simple. Just considering a diagonal coming out of the top. Something like this. And then just like a vertical one adjoined, maybe? Although preferably it would like adjoin here or more or less. Maybe there. So maybe this needs to be on more of an angle. And it honestly maybe needs to be a bit bigger. That's quite cute. So then we just mirror that hopefully on this side. Is it 40? Yeah, 40. I mean, no, it's the wrong angle for this one. What angle did we use here? This looks off. They're different sizes. Oh, 45. Done it again. Sort of like this, right? Something like that. It's pretty good for like a first attempt, and it just makes that exposed masonry section a bit more interesting because I don't really have much to put up there, to be honest, that makes sense. Ivy is usually the go-to, but I'm not a fan of just having plants on the inside unless they're like potted. But maybe it looks okay, I don't know. It's something, but I think I'm going to delete it for now. Okay. That's nice. Let's maybe grab some columns. I was thinking this corner definitely needs one, and actually so does this one. Then it does accentuate how unsymmetrical, asymmetrical. The two sides are. So maybe it needs to be a bit more like this. Should we try, let's do this one on this side. Sure. Okay. What do we think this room should end up being? And what I should probably do, just so that we know not to cover this too much, is put like a placeholder room there so that we know where the progression of the house is leading. So we can't put too much blocking this space because we need to access the rest of the house through here. Do we want this to be... I'm thinking living room, like some kind of sitting space. Could honestly be sitting and dining. I've just had another idea, actually. We won't work on this now, but... Can I get a small octagonal room? How would you call this a small room, by the way? I mean, the large one is crazy if you've not seen it. Shall I show you? The large octagonal room looks like a... Oh, I can't use it. Can I put it anywhere? Not that I can access. Damn it. Okay. The large octagonal room looks like a... It looks like that Dark Moon Arena. I was wondering if we maybe put this as the sitting area, because I think walking through here, having a big centerpiece fireplace here would look really pretty for you to walk straight towards. And it just kind of makes sense to put seating in front of that. What if we had like a conservatory dining space in this room? We would like make our own smaller octagon inside the large one, and all of this would be outdoor space that you just see out to. I think that would be really pretty. That is definitely not a project for today, but maybe I'll just leave it there because we need a room blocking off that section anyway. So I'd love to use the same fireplace I've got here, the what's this called? The Old Salts fireplace. That probably comes from Borealis. I only have one, because the other options are this, which doesn't fit. The Tide Sage one is way too spooky, I think. I don't love like a kraken on my fireplace. Can't really hide it either, unless we can actually. And the other ones, I mean, we've got a sturdy one. That's not too bad. Thinking of making it quite large. No, that Old Salts one is like perfect. Let me double check the housing database before I go wandering around. The Old Salts fireplace. It is, yeah, a vendor. And you need war resources. So I'm going to quickly log over to my mage, I think. If it's not too much to ask. I've slowly but surely been sending as many of my alts to their respective class order halls from Legion as possible. because if we check homebound, I've made a lot of progress. In fact, I've filtered out the completed. There's a lot of progress made in here, but in places like Legion, I'm only 45% complete because there's so many things to do. And they're just carbon copies of Legion Order Hall achievements for different classes. And I didn't do that back in Legion, so I've slowly but surely been chipping away. My druid is almost completely finished. My mage has done her Order Hall campaign, but then everyone needs to be recruiting troops, and they need to be recruiting troops, upgrading their Order Hall, and finishing their campaign, which is a pretty big ask. So I'm trying to do them all simultaneously if I can, but I've been having some issues with some of my characters not being able to access their Legion Order Halls, and there's some issue with it. You have to like go and do Legion Broken Shore stuff first or something. If I do have to do that, it's going to be a bit painstaking because it's going to be the same questline over and over. Or one thing I haven't tried is potentially making a new character and like speaking to Chromie and changing Chromie time to Legion to see if we can do it that way. Do you sell the Old Salts fireplace? You don't. Who am I looking at? Pearl Barlow? Let's see.
Keep your powder dry.
Oh, I'm in the wrong house. That doesn't look right. Does it? Unless they're upstairs.
You've got
Pearl Barlow, hello.
I've got the bargains.
Old Salt's fireplace. This is what I was wanting. I'll get two, just in case.
Travel
Felt like a
safe, yes.
bedroom is a nice place for a fireplace. That would be really cool. Okay. Thank you for your service, Evie. Okay, so never knew of that NPC before. I'm among them. The first vendor I went to. Yeah, BFA has some nice stuff. The only thing is, a lot of the BFA decor costs war resources, the currency from BFA. So if you didn't play back then, you've kind of got the extra objective of getting that in the first place. But luckily, I played quite a lot in BFA, so I've got some left over. Old Salt's fireplace. This is much more what I was looking for. We can ignore the fact that there's an anchor on the front. I mean, it's obviously very fitting for Colterians, but maybe we'll put something over it to hide that. I was considering sizing up my fireplace, but actually this one is so large I don't think we need to. Because having it huge maybe just makes it a bit cartoonish. I don't know. The main thing is like how it looks from when you walk down this room. Looks like a huge maw of fire. Maybe like that. Also, maybe it would be nice to swap out this wall that it sits on with a stone wall because the chimney itself is stone. Maybe if we do like bring it all the way forward. No, let's sink it into the wall a little bit. This reminds me of Sim streams. Yes, I mean it is basically, isn't it? Hello, Jacob. How are you doing today? Put a googly eye over the anchor. think it makes the fireplace even more of a feature to have a different texture on the wall that it sits on. That makes sense in my brain. There we go. That looks nice. I mean, the stone texture is a different color, but I can't do anything about that, unfortunately. Color palette, click on the wall, make it stone. Oh, I'd forgotten about that. I think that changes this whole wall though, doesn't it? Maybe it doesn't. Let's see. Wall texture, cottage. Yeah, I do quite like that. I've honestly forgotten to use that feature. Thank you for reminding me. I think I just want this one cutout part to be stone. Although maybe cottage looks okay as well. We're not doing marble. And we're not doing softwood, I don't think. Let's leave it like this. Maybe this wall could be... Oh, damn. Let me try this. Oh, this isn't a wall. That's a fake wall. I placed that myself. Okay. Ooh, that's... I must remember that. Wall steep. Stop. Okay. Honestly, I feel like most of the rooms that we've made so far have been pretty detailed and in depth. I think a living space is pretty simple. I'm thinking 2 sofas facing each other this way, because I don't think we're making a TV. 2 sofas here. Maybe some sunken bookcases. Maybe a coffee table and a rug. I think simple is the best here. So with that in mind, what sofas do I have available? We're probably using something like this, aren't we? Like a very basic, comfy looking sofa. Again, Alliance theme. We could do a 3-seater and a love seat. That might be a nice contrast. Plus, I've only got one of each. Oh, there's also an armchair. That's nice. Zebra print beanbag. Maybe we put the 3-seater here. It's very low. Very low. Preferably aligned with the window, because I've made the window a little bit off. Like that. I feel like as I get closer to it, it then goes off center again. Something like that. Again, we'll customize colors in a little bit. Why did they do that? They made the back of the love seat so much taller than the back of this one, but they quite clearly go quite well together. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to put them on top of each other and then try and match them a bit better. Because the armrest of this is higher too. That's better. The legs are slightly different, everything's slightly different. Okay. That makes more sense in my brain. And try and get some symmetry on this side. It's hard to know how much space to leave because we also want a coffee table. Oh my god, look how asymmetrical they are. Oh, this is 2-seater versus 3, isn't it? This is going to have to be a little bit off. Let's do it this way. This is easier, I think. It's pretty spot on now. There we go. So we're kind of aligning the start of the sofas with the wooden mantelpiece of the fire. I think. Depends how big of a coffee table we go. Love seat, but for one person would be so sad. Yeah, although those big kind of single person love seats, I guess they're not called love seats. They do look lovely. Why is this armchair so small? What have they done? This is so strange. The love seat is a different size from the 3-seater, and then the armchair is just miniature. How odd. That's more like it. Do we want an armchair as well? Maybe we do this. Move this along and put the armchair next to it. What do we call an armchair? That's very strange. Three different chair teams, truly. Thank you for lurking, Jacob. Appreciate it. How is that? It's okay. Maybe the armchair is overkill. We'll see. Do we have any coffee tables of some kind? What sort of thing is going to work here? My issue with a lot of tables is they've got way too much metal. Ooh, this almond-shaped table's beautiful. It's not what I was hoping for, but maybe we go round. We have a few options for a round table. They're not great either, to be fair. This one's kind of nice. I think it might need to be quite comically large, though. Don't want to block the fireplace too much. And you can't customize it. Maybe now we can get away with using that table with the runner on it. Still not convinced. Hi, MechX. How are you today? Where did that table go? It's this one. If we dye the metal a heartwood, maybe it doesn't look so bad. That's actually much less obtuse, obscene. It does mean there's a big gap between seats, so maybe we do bring them closer together. I'm okay. How about you? I'm doing well, thank you. I'm doing okay. Today we have moved on into the next portion of the house. So this kind of left side where you first come in is finished, including the pantry and the greenhouse and this reading nook. And then we're transitioning down this hallway, which the hallway is going to be somewhat of an element in and of itself, because I don't want to just leave it like this. It's way too open. And then this is a living space. And so far, the main achievement has been this bay window, custom bay window that we've made. And we're going to kind of come back to this as and when we figure out a color scheme. Okay. Maybe this can be sized up slightly more. It's very low. Hmm. It's nice though having the runner on it, isn't it? Maybe it just looks strange having the furniture so far apart from each other. That does look immediately better. Is there a limit for how many items you can place? Yes. This number up here is your decor budget. Now, each decor item can cost, from my understanding, anywhere from 1 to 5. So it's not necessarily that it's 1 for 1. There aren't 995 decor pieces in this build. It's that I think walls and things, like putting down your own walls, cost a lot. And then the smaller pieces will cost less. So you are limited, but as you level up your house by unlocking more furniture and in Midnight doing endeavors, which aren't available right now, your house level will go up, and then you'll get extra, you'll get like an increased cap on your decor budget. So we are halfway, let's say, and honestly nowhere near finished, but I think by the time this is getting near completion, we'll have more budget, because I think Midnight will be with us before we're done here, hopefully. The only other thing I can think is, like, we could potentially use the table without the runner on it, or is there a way we make our own table? I don't know. Like, maybe 2 curved pieces put together could be cute. Actually, maybe we're onto something with that. We probably need more than 2 though. Let's get this out of the way. How big is this one? 60%? Mm. We'd have to like put something in the middle, I think. Because pushing them together, they're gonna clip. And it is maybe a bit of a weird shape. It honestly looks a little bit phallic. I'm sorry about that. What if we put something on the top? Again, my age-old issue of the fact that there aren't enough customizable rugs. kind of pretty though, actually. I wish these corners met, because that just looks really strange to me. Can I put anything there that closes that gap? Bit of fallacy. Probably platforms, right? Like these trusty old beams. But I'm not sure how. It's not bad. But I mean, no. Don't live. I'm not living. Um, Coffee table. I was considering making one out of beams, but to be fair, we could probably make a really basic one that's just 4 legs and a top, like a tabletop. Do you think that would look okay? Let's try. Sorry in advance if this is a complete waste of time, we delete it. Probably like that. And aye. Come back here. Look how far away it went. This is also as fast as I can bring it back to me. I'm holding down shift. If you ever use housing keybinds, holding down shift is a great way to move things around faster. I believe holding down shift in the rotational axis will also shift things in multiples of 10. It's not, I don't know why it's not like changing the number right now. And the same with scaling something up and down. If you hold down shift, it automatically snaps to the next multiple of 10, which is pretty nice if you're working with exact quantities. Somehow I've shrunk this one down, or like sunk it into the ground more than the other one. I guess it goes here. Is that going to be really skinny? I think that's going to look kind of normal. And then don't you dare come this way. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's going to be a long coffee table. Maybe we need to make it shorter. We'll see. Having the grid is really useful. I've had it deactivated all this time. I think by mistake. But actually getting things aligned using the grid is really nice. We've got 4 table legs. Now we either put 2 beams next to each other, or hopefully we see if this platform works instead. It's very thick. Actually, maybe vertical wood looks better. think they're gonna have to come closer together potentially, because this is the closest I can get them. That's not true. Then wonder what it looks like to have a beam in the middle. Something to just break up those lines. Gonna need multiple probably. Mm. I mean, do we just make our lives easier and bring them close together? I think that makes sense, because that coffee table is actually enormous, isn't it? Maybe we just do it like this. Still symmetrical. And then we just move these along to the next corner of the grid, right? Ooh, and these. These move along half a tile. It's not perfect. I wish the top were not as thick. But I think the only way to do that is doing individual platforms. Could we use anything else for a tabletop? I mean, maybe we can clip an actual table into the top of it. This is my trusty table that I've used in the kitchen relentlessly. Let me put these over here. Oh. Wait, I actually don't mind that the legs stick out of the top of that. Just out of curiosity, though. Maybe it's going to look weird from this angle where you can see the legs of the actual table versus the pillars. That like almost serendipitously worked perfectly. That doesn't look as weird. I mean, you can see that it's now got 8 legs instead of 4, but I mean, is that strange? And then if this were to be artwood like that, that is nice. Kind of. Gosh, this is really tricky. What if we tip it on its head? Then it would still have the part that sticks up out of the table. No, that doesn't look as good, does it? The lighting on the underside of the table is a bit strange. Um, that's a real contender. Again, let me throw it over there. I mean, stone would be lovely, but they have accents on them that you can't customize. I don't like the patchwork runner on that one. That's too orcish. This one's pretty, to be fair. But we're not going with blue in this room anymore. It's too elvish. Odd shape. How far can you customize this? You can change the gem in the middle. And you can make the whole thing heartwood, although the metal still keeps its metallic look, just even if you use a wooden dye option. But maybe that's okay. I think I'm committing to this idea, actually. It's not perfect, but it's not a bad option just to have for now. And I mean, maybe we just move the legs to try and align them with the legs of the table. It's pretty centered, isn't it? We can cover those bolts with these legs, that would be fabulous. While also covering as much of those legs as possible. I mean, I think it's working. So you can't see them there. This side doesn't matter quite as much because you won't see it from head on. But it's still important that it's right. I'm going to send this one up to the one on this corner and just line them up. Oh my god, they're like perfect. Look at that. And then maybe this way too. Oh. There we go. Okay. Now I'm actually happy to commit to dyeing this. Like so. Custom coffee table of some kind. The legs, the stilts coming out the top now look a little bit strange, but it's got character at least. It's still centered, it's symmetrical in the room. Cool. Which one of these dyes the wood? Here we go. I think I'm going to make all of these heartwood too. And then figure out the dye color for the cushions later. I'm not going to dye that. I think we're committing to having the armchair. I'm going to dye it just in case. Fine, take my dye. Why don't you? We've got the light corally toned red going on over here. I think if we do this too much, it's going to look strange. So I'm tempted to leave the sofas quite muted, but like try and draw in that color a little bit, or at least tie it in. Now that we've gone with that stone wall, we kind of need the sofas to be quite dark. I just find a lot of the colors are too bright. They're too rich for this type of build. The Timbermore brown is actually, I mean, it's boring, but it keeps it muted. What colors do we have over here? Some like niche colors. There's that like golden color. It's too bright. Maybe we do Kalimdor sand. I have to go and craft some more. But that's okay. I think there's too much red going on otherwise. Yeah, let's do Kalimdor sand. I'm gonna have to go outside. Kalimdor sand. I imagine you want me to make some kind of orange or yellow? Oh, brown. Yeah, of course. Okay. Brown dye pigment. I usually make this probably from, oh, Cinderbloom. Cinderbloom's nice and cheap. Cinderbloom is 621. Just out of curiosity. Briarthorn is more expensive. Let's go with Cinderbloom. I'll take 100. And then we have a bit of a painstaking process. We have to mill the herbs into a pigment and then use the pigment to make a dye. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So, brown dye pigment. Maybe I should get more. Although I don't know if this character can afford much more. She can get 200 total. Yeah, why not? I'll just transfer some more gold later on. What I'm going to do is craft some dye pigments. I'm going to take another quick stream break actually as well. And when we get back, we will finish off with our dye making. And then that will let us dye our sofas. And it will give us just some extra brown pigments in case we need them for probably more heartwood dyeing and things like that. I'm just going to quickly set this off and I will be back soon. Okay. We are back. I realized right as I left, I was like, gives us spare dye pigment to make heartwood, and then I used it all in my Kalimdor sand, but that's all right. I just need to remember now if I want to buy more things on this character. She needs some gold because 12 gold 98 is not going to cut it for the things that we need. So we now have Kalimdor sand dye pigment, or just dye, period. Thank you, Mechex. So we can change the color of the cushions on the sofas. Hopefully that starts to bring the room together a bit more. Let's go for kind of sand. Yeah, I don't mind that. It just needs to be a bit more subtle than what's going on in the window right now. Because I think too much more of that corally pinky red is going to be a little bit overboard. We could potentially make the armchair a little nod to what's going on in the window, but the rain poppy red is just way too garish on certain things. So the other option is the mage royal. I don't mind it. Annoyingly, the hickory is quite a nice color. I don't have any of those either. Moonberry amethyst isn't quite what we need. Maybe Gilnean rose? I'm going to commit. Maybe that looks bad. If you guys want me to change it, let me know. Okay. I think we need a rug under, like between the furniture, under the coffee table. If I can find another rug that we like the look of. I love the pattern on these rugs. I just wish you could customize them slightly. It might honestly have to be one of these silver moon rugs. I think this one works the best. Currently it can't be customized. I think it's okay. It like is close enough to the colors that we're going for that it does work. It's kind of making me question now. I think this back wall is the issue that I've like purposefully changed to be the masonry. I wonder if we could make it something else. It looks too plain like this. Do we like board it off and like make our own mantelpiece? If we put columns here, we'd have to use multiple. And it's gonna clip into our lovely chair. Actually, it doesn't clip into the chair. It almost does. I'm not sure if this is going to look good. Bear with. Maybe it looks nice like this, actually, like staggering out the columns. It makes it more of a statement piece rather than having them just aligned. I'm not mad at that. I just did that by mistake, but I thought it actually ended up looking quite nice. Oops. It's a lot going on at the top. Can we rectify that? Yes. We can also rectify it by just changing the column that we're using, because I've accidentally used the ones with the part jutting out at the top. This is getting messy. Let's try this again, but with regular columns. I only have 4, so we need to get this right. We put one sort of here. I think this is going to look neater, isn't it? Maybe we could do a combination of the two and have the beams with the extra detail at the top in the back. Makes it a little bit more interesting to look at, I suppose. It's not done, but I think that looks okay. And then this wall is actually the perfect width to cover the chimney. And I'm wondering, do we do it this way? It's just super blocky, isn't it? Having it like this is actually not that bad. I kind of like the detail of the metal top there, which is clipping from the fireplace itself. It means that we cover up the anchor emblem on the front that's very pirate because it's from Borealis. And it means we get to knock out the strange grey stone that's kind of throwing off the more warm tone that we're having in here. I think that looks nice, actually. Maybe we put, do you think like a painting would go on this wall? Preferably the right color scheme. That bold gold is just not for me at all. Honestly, the yellow painting isn't bad. I think it's kind of the only portraits we've got. I really don't. Yeah, I don't know about having lore characters on my wall. Is this the same on the back? It is, kind of. It's a little bit too Dranic and too purpley. Although it does give me inspiration to make like a stained glass window. Okay, let's go with maybe just the yellow painting. We used this one in the pantry as well. Because, I mean, I don't want this. Like, it really fits. Like, it works well. I don't love it for this character. That doesn't give cottage at all. If you've got any ideas of what could maybe go up here, let me know. We could try and stick something to the wall that doesn't belong on the wall. I mean, I'm absolutely putting a bottle lamp up here. That looks so cute. Or maybe even put the two that I have up here. It is so close to falling off, but that's okay. We've got some red candles. They barely fit. They'd have to be so small. Looks dangerous, doesn't it? Let's get rid of those. We just want kind of ornament type things, I think. I'm tempted to turn the retort into the wall because I can't help but see the face of a bird in that. I don't know about you guys. That just looks like a bird, a duck or something. Maybe if we face it this way, or just straight into the wall is also fine, probably. It's smoking a little bit, which looks a bit strange. Do you know what? I was eager to have salt and pepper shakers in my pantry. I've just realized how much that looks like what that is if you turn it around the right way. Only thing is you can't customize it. Sure, why not? That's all I can see now, a burb. It's a shame that this isn't customizable because something like this would go well sunk into the wall. Oh, I got this from the Monk order hall. That does not go at all. Unless it does. It's too big, I think. But did it maybe go like on the hearth? I feel like this poor Pandaren doesn't have many nods to like Pandaria in her home. That doesn't belong there, sadly. Ooh, these lanterns are cute. Oh, it has it's animated, it's floating. Wonder if I can get away with ignoring that. No, now that I see it, annoyingly I can't. Also, it's not customizable and it's silver. Maybe this is a nice nod to Pandaria. She's got 2 of these stone posts. Just put them on a slight angle and put them in these corners. Maybe that's something? They could honestly be quite large. I don't mind. Or even smaller. Just something so that they're not too obviously clipping. Or floating. That's very obviously floating. That's quite pretty. These totally look like different sizes. One's just further forward, maybe? It's just lifted up higher off the ground. Try and put them on top of each other. They're kind of like that. Is the fireplace asymmetrical? Like one side is very clearly floating and the other one isn't. Huh. Or is it because this wasn't 80% when it says it was, when it said it was? I think that might be why. Yeah, okay. So they were clearly different sizes, but the game said that they weren't. Annoyingly, now that I'm looking at it, I don't think I like it. Something's off. Maybe I just need to not use them. Or maybe they were the wrong size. They needed to be even smaller. That's better. It's a very faint nod, but it's a nod. Back to Pandaria, and we've taken what was a pirate-themed fireplace and turned it into a cozy cottage one instead. Still don't know what to put up on the actual chimney, I will say. Maybe we just take the painting and move on. Any point in putting lanterns over it? There's probably a point in putting lanterns over the windowsill. I love these lanterns. They just make every space feel really cozy. Oops. Oh dear. They just needed to be shifted up slightly higher, I think. Okay. Let me grab that painting, because we'll be here all day. It's this one. It's probably the perfect size as it is, right? Or we can have it large and in charge. Yeah, why not? We can go for statement. Okay. Then I thought this area looks pretty nice for a kind of sunken bookcase type thing. I don't think I've used actual bookcases yet. We've used like shelves and just placed books down. Would it count as storage? It does, yeah. We probably have quite a few. Oh, that's quite cute. Oh gosh. Yeah, there's all sorts. Book. I think I just want the kind of basic... What's that called? Secretive bookcase wall. Is this the one that's a door? It is a door. That's annoying. We could use it and just not use it as a door. There must be one that... There must be a regular bookcase that goes with that. That's the point of it. That's pretty fun. I actually didn't realize I had that item. After all that work, you see how nicely the Pandaren bookcase would have gone perfectly over the fireplace. That's too bad. That's too bad. It would have been... Oh, it's really pretty. And it's got red. Maybe. 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 Right now we just want a bookcase. Dornagal bookcase. This is the thing. I've got like one of multiple types of bookcase. I just need two of the same type, ideally. Or we can just use one. Reinforced cupboard. It's too little. Balshara bookcase isn't the right colors. Let me look up bookcase on the database. I'm fairly certain the bookcase I'm after exists. I just don't have it for some reason. Let's go and find out. Limited amounts of thingies, not like you unlock furniture and you can place as many as you want. No, unfortunately not. Every decor piece is on use, so to speak, consumed on use. So if you want multiples of something, you have to buy multiples of that thing, which also counts for boss drops, for example. I don't know if it shows in the journal. If we go to Neltheris, you can get the Kalashi Goulash item from the last boss, which is like a dish. This is a decor item. You'd have to kill Warlord Saga multiple times to get multiples of the goulash. I only had it in me to do it once, and luckily this isn't the type of item I would use multiple times. But there is one from this expansion, which is quite nice to have, but it takes a lot to get. War Within. It's from the brewery. The last boss of the brewery has a nice window. And it's really, really narrow, so it usually looks nice with multiple. But you would have to kill Goldie Baron Bottom again and again and again. But I'm pretty sure it's like guaranteed to drop at least, which is one benefit. But yeah, I'm not a fan of that feature either. We'll see if they change it one day, but I'm not holding out hope personally. I think we're going to have to use the door and just not click on it. Because I'm not seeing a version of the... Yes, I am. There is a bookcase, but it doesn't have any books on it. Okay. Also, I don't have this. How weird that I don't have that. Also, I can't buy it because I don't have any gold. Before I log on anyone else, let me just check my warband bank. I have 5k I can withdraw. That will have to do.
Please browse my wares.
Let's buy a second secretive bookcase wall just in case. Two of those. I think the books I like come from Dornagal, and you have to spend resonance crystals. I don't have resonance crystals. I'd love like the row of books. Maybe I will log over quickly just to double check. Wonder if my Druid's Legion Order Hall stuff is actually finished. I might be able to get an achievement right now and get another decor item for the house. Well, we won't be using it, but it make number go up. Oh, maybe not. It's only one mission that's complete. I don't know if I can get any more recruits yet.
What is nature's call?
I can get one. I'm going to wait until I can get two. Let's go to Dornagal. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, this NPC, this quartermaster, sells books.
My directive is to serve you.
Oh my goodness, they're so expensive. And I've used all three of them. Okay, they cost 1,000 crystals each. It says that I have some on other characters, but I don't. Resonance crystals. Your warband does not have enough of this currency to transfer to you. They're called literature of. Let me see if anything else comes up when I type that in. There's a red row of books that doesn't seem to be on this vendor. I wonder where that one came from. Literature of the Red Dragonflight. Oh, there's some from Dawn. Oh no, they come from Inscription. Wait, I'm a scribe. What? Oh, Dragonflight Inscription. Can I buy them? They're probably so expensive. There's literature of the blue, red, and green dragonflight. That looks like all they have. Literature. You won't catch me buying a blue dragonflight one for 23,000. Do I spend 8k to get one of the red and one of the green? I mean, the red is kind of nice because the color scheme in the room is red.
Bruh.
No, I'm not doing it. We can send Okasa some gold. Poor thing. She can have she gets through quite a lot. Would you like 20k? And maybe she just has to have empty bookcases for now, or we use the doors as placeholders. Because there just aren't enough book items that I can get my hands on to make our own bookcases. How much Kej do you have? You can get 1,000 crystals for 2,000 Kej from what I remember. Ooh. Kej. Oh, I'd have to log back over. I have a feeling I spent Kej. Whether I spent it all or not, I don't know, because I think there's a vendor in Ashkahet who you can buy decor items from for Kej. But I probably only bought one of each. Let's find out. Nice idea, Mekex. Kej. I do have 14k. In fact, make that. Make that 23k. Now I just need to go about finding the NPC that has decor or that you can spend Kej. Maybe this is an easy way to do it actually. Homebound vendors. Kazalgar? Tazavesh, Undermine, Isle of Dawn. Is it under this? Surely not. Kej, decor vendor, wow. I've definitely bought something for Kej, I swear. Kalmuko, I think. Some crab guy thingy. Kalmuko. Let me see if I can type that in. Oh, Mekex, you're a genius. You got the name spot on. Weird that that wasn't coming up when I was searching. Ashkahet, there's a portal. Thank you, that's really helpful. Oh, thanks for the link. Typical. Maybe I haven't come here then, because I don't remember this at all. Does this mean there's Kej items I haven't bought? Oh no. Contains 100, contains 1,000. Well, goodbye, Kej. Maybe I won't spend absolutely all of it. That's 2k, 3k, 4k, 5. I should probably get an even number, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's get 6. And now we can afford to buy some books.
I have an extended supply of goods.
I wouldn't be mad at another one of those windows, actually. But let me buy the books first. So the blue dragonflight is short. No, what am I saying? Dragonflight. That's from Dragonflight. These ones are... The green one is the longest. We'll just buy a couple of each. 2 of each, right?
My directive has been fulfilled.
I don't care about the window now all of a sudden. I'll go and exchange more cash if I feel a need. That's a useful tip for anyone who is out of resonance crystals, courtesy of Mikex. Go to Ajkaher and exchange any cash that you might have, so long as you don't need it. I wasn't able to buy anything, was I? Because I was poor.
Browse. Take your time. Enjoy.
Oh no, I was. I took 5k out of the bank. So I took an extra secret door and I took 2 empty bookcases.
Jade Serpent.
That's probably fine for now. Ooh, actually, just in case we get onto this today,
Show me what you found.
I am interested in more of these curved tables because I think they're going to help us make a nice archway potentially and soften that very bland, empty hallway that we have so far.
Transaction complete.
I hope you find your purchase to be satisfying.
My house is starting to lag a little bit when we load into it because there's so many things in here. Okay. Let's see how we go, shall we? I'm kind of interested in putting one of those silly secret doors in one corner, just because it has an array of books already. Looks kind of cute. And I was just going to sink it in between the columns a bit more so it looks like purposefully kind of built in. Even sized up slightly works. Oh my goodness. What happened? Okay, it like kept its dye even though I didn't actually dye it. So just don't click on the door because that's not how it's supposed to be. But it does look nice. How does the empty one look? Let me try and sink it in the same depth as the one next door. Something like this. And then it's actually scaled up to 105 as well. Does it look nice like that because it's symmetrical, but then it means there's a space here that's unused? Or do we fill this wall with books? And then it's asymmetrical. No, I think we do one each. And then if need be, we could just section this off and bring this hallway further in. That makes sense to me. In fact, let me grab a pillar. We'll use one of these ones. Okay. Yeah, that looks good. And then we just make our own custom bookcase with our very expensive books. And also, not every shelf needs to have books on it. We can do books on this row. Books, maybe on this row. And then one down there. And then the rest can have just things on them, even though we do have more books to actually use. We could add our own books if we wanted. There's a Tome of Silvermoon Intrigue. I got this one yesterday, actually. I did the lore walking campaign for the Owls of Quel'Thalas. It's nice as well because it's got a little bit of red in it. Well, it's got a lot of red in it. Now I was going to just lean this one, I think. Oh, I have 2 of those books? I wonder why. I only did the campaign once. Maybe it gives you 2. My go-to is usually like a basket, right? To be fair, I think these roses would be really pretty in here if they fit. They'd have to be really small. I think that's worth it. Now I'm half tempted to use some ivy for this very top row. That looks pretty. I think I've used all of our bottle lamps. That's a shame. I can buy more, or we have these elegant table lamps, which also do the trick. And then maybe that scroll item might work here. Just kind of lazily strewn in here. It's kind of hard to make a custom bookcase when you've got, like with clutter items, when you've got, you know, other shelves with full rows of books on them. It's easy for the other ones to look emptier. No, that makes it look a bit strange. if in doubt. Elegant seat cushion size down. In my go-to in a couple different rooms now. Just feel like there's a gap here that needs something. Means we can tie in more of that nice red color too. There we go. That looks more like a busier shelf. And we have the bottom one. Wonder if we could make the bottom one cabinet. I mean, it fills the space. It looks a little bit strange. We need to size it down. That looks better. Yeah, I'm not mad at that. And then, I mean, do we put anything on this top shelf? I'm just tempted by another light of some kind. This isn't where we put the candles, is it? No, that would be silly. We have a purple light. Got this recently. We're not really doing purple in this room, but maybe just as a little accent light, it's not bad. It's also glowing with like an animation, which is quite pretty. I've royally messed this up. Bear with me. Let me do that again. I guess that's kind of nice. And maybe just to incorporate this a little bit and make it feel less prefabricated. We'll try and customize the pre-existing bookcase a little bit. We've put the lantern on the same shelf, haven't we? Let's change that. Maybe it can just go one above. It doesn't fit. Do we maybe take another one of these lamps? That purple glow is lovely. Then at least if it's on the same shelf, it doesn't look as obvious. Hydration check. Thank you, Mechex. I lock in a little bit too much with housing and then I forget to drink. Would we get away with a small ivy somewhere? Or is this too much? Might be too much. Yeah, it makes sense coming off the top shelf, but I'm not sure about the rest. I feel like a candle could probably sit on this table, but I'll deal with that in a minute. What is this? A Belemeth tent. I do not remember getting that. Maybe the shelves are good as they are. Is that pretty? We could do this light. I don't use this one. I find coffee tables quite difficult to decorate because it's all too easy to make it really symmetrical. And if you want it to look lived in, you have to make more of an effort to make it that way. It's kind of the irony of it. I guess maybe could a food and drink item go on the table? I'm kind of running out of food and drink items. Yeah, we would need another like tea kettle thing like we've got in the kitchen. I guess a book. None of these are quite the right vibe. How weird does it look to have a stack of books? Yeah, I don't like that. Could throw another one of the tomes out from the bookshelf. It fits the rug underneath. And we've already started the asymmetry, which is good. Maybe this is the place for our candles that we've not found a place for just yet. Just wondering about making some kind of a dish for it to sit on because it's like melted candle. Maybe something like this. Quite ornate. It's obviously a cushion, but if we customize it, should be more subtle. Or this one. No. This is customizable, I think. It's not too bad. But you can see the wood texture. What did I use over here? I have a feeling I only had one of them anyway. An elven wooden crate. I mean, I can go and get one. Maybe I have something else elven. How would this look? Oh, it's flat on one side. Is that okay, or does it look weird? It's very dark on the underside, isn't it? Yeah, that looks a bit strange. Maybe this one? That's a bit more like it. I just wanted something to look like a dish. And preferably you can't see it from the underside, which you can't. This can be like pretty perfectly centered. I think that makes sense, doesn't it? I actually would prefer not to see the candle melting. Just looks kind of messy. Maybe we make it like a stark white. Ooh, maybe not too much. Because there's so much light going on in this room, it's very, very bright. We could do brass. Brass or bronze. Even, actually, bronze looks even better, I think. And then I think this changes the color of the gem, which you can't actually see. Okay. Okay. So far, the coffee table has a candle dish, a book. Not sure how much more we can tie into this. Um, kind of wondering if that stripe on the cushion should now be like a bronzy yellow tone as opposed to red. I think it does. Okay. Can't push those any further back, unfortunately. And then as you enter, I mean, again, this is going to need work. Like, this is so much dead space, unfortunately. But we're gonna make it into something more interesting. But I think that looks really pretty if I hide this. We now have a living space with a custom-built bay window, a custom fireplace to cover up the fact that that's definitely a pirate fireplace, and some custom built-in bookcases too. Maybe they'd look even more built-in if we did a beam along the top. Yeah, they would, wouldn't they? If we did something like this. Although then the beams don't meet. Hmm. We'd have to do multiples of them. Like probably 2. That's okay, we can come back to that. I think filling in the gap in the ceiling, connecting those beams, will make it look even more like a built-in. Whereas right now it's kind of got those gaps. And then we'll see to maybe bringing this room a little bit closer by, like, let's say adding a pillar here. And then this actually becomes an archway. And then potentially a conservatory dining space with just flooded with natural light might be a nice thing to do. Can we do maybe generic like that will be useful for... So we're gonna potentially plaster the ceiling and the walls with sky. I don't know if that will work, like if it will look strange, but we will have to see. But I think for now, the living room is coming on nicely. I don't think I'd say that it's finished. There's probably bits and pieces I would put around that will like kind of be finishing touches. I'm actually wondering, speaking of a finishing touch, do we need a ceiling light? I don't think I've got any that suit, really. Maybe candles. Casts a strange light in the room, I will say. Maybe just making them smaller. That's quite pretty. There's a nice, very warm tone glow in this room, which is kind of what I was looking for. Nice. think that's pretty good going. I am going to wrap up my stream here for today. Thank you guys for joining. It's been a pleasure to have you. I hope you've been enjoying the process so far. If you've got any suggestions of things that we should implement into any of the spaces or any rooms that you would like to see added, this particular house and this build is like something that we're sharing on stream together. I'm only really touching it when we're on stream, so your contributions are always welcome. I am due back on stream this Friday at 2 p.m. GMT, the same time I've been going live the last couple days. I hope to catch you guys then, but for now, I wish you a fabulous rest of your Wednesday. Have a good rest of your week, and I shall see you all again very soon. Bye.